Entrepreneurs everywhere can't afford to hire people because of taxes, government regulations, and the lavishly high wages enjoyed by American workers. The state-sanctioned Cosa Nostra, that we call the IRS, steals money from the free market and hands it out to lazy morons in the form of unemployment checks. I say it's high time for some serious austerity. We need to abolish unemployment benefits, abolish the minimum wage, and abolish taxes. This way, wage earners will lower their wage demands and capitalists will be able to afford to hire people again. QED. Of course, there are some people who think that we should have an idiotic social safety net. I call these people the enemies of liberty. This includes Marxists, fake anarchists, and corporatists. The enemies of liberty think that we aren't smart enough to run our own lives. They think that the government has to tell us what to do with our money. They think we need a nanny state to protect us. Just who the fuck are these people? One such person was none other than Vladimir Lenin. Second only to Marx and Engels, Lenin was the worst enemy of liberty in human history. If we ever hope to save capitalism from the enemies of liberty, we must understand their idols. We must smash the popular myths surrounding them and expose them as anti-liberty demagogues. Lenin was born Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov on April 22, 1870. His parents were actually pretty well off and sent Lenin and his siblings to good schools. One wonders what got this dude's panties up in a bunch to begin with. When he was 17, his idiot older brother Alexander tried to assassinate the Tsar. Lenin's brother was arrested and executed. From that point on, Lenin got all but hurt and decided to become a committed Marxist revolutionary. Some other shit happened, and then Lenin joined the Russian Social Democratic Labour Party. 3 years before the 1905 Russian Revolution, Lenin wrote this shitty book called What Is to Be Done. A lot of people thought Lenin predicted why the fucking stupid 1905 revolution would fail, so they said that he was a prophet. This made Lenin's ego grow to the size of the fucking moon. Lenin decided to form a cult. He tried to take over the RSDLP and make all of its members into his obedient sheep. When a minority of party members decided that they didn't want to become cult members, Lenin formed a cult with the majority of members and called it the Bolshevik Party. Lenin and his wife adopted a young Georgian fellow named Joseph Stalin, who quickly climbed the ranks of the Bolshevik Party. Blah blah blah. Then in March of 1917, Tsar Nicholas II abdicated and the shit hit the fan. For a more detailed account of the anti-capitalist horror known as the Russian Revolution, see my video, The Russian Revolution. Brainwashed Bolshevik idiots overthrew the provisional government and Lenin swooped into power as dictator for life. Lenin hated freedom. He made everyone in Russia worship him as a god. Everybody who didn't like Lenin was sent to jail or executed on the spot. When the heroic White Army tried to restore capitalism to Russia, Lenin defeated them and killed their families just for the hell of it. When a bunch of sailors at Kronstadt complained about Lenin, he simply marched down to their base and slaughtered each one of them personally with a chainsaw. He took their remains and fed them to a bunch of starving peasants. Did I mention that Lenin hated peasants? Lenin totally hated peasants. During the Russian Civil War, Lenin ordered the Red Army to go into their villages and steal their food. Just for fun. One day this woman named Fania Kaplan shot Lenin in the neck. The fucking guy is like the Terminator or something, because he didn't die. Lenin got his chainsaw out again and cut Kaplan up into a million pieces. When Lenin finally died in 1924, his adopted son Stalin was his natural successor. Stalin did everything that Lenin did, except Stalin only had a mustache. The really scary thing is, none of this is taught in our state education camps. We are made to believe that the Bolsheviks were awesome, and that Stalin was totally different from Lenin. We need to dispel these myths immediately. Long live the free market.